Prepare your soul. Something monumental is stirring in your life, a divine shift so profound that most are unaware of its approach. In just 2 days, on July 19th, God's hand will move in a way that reshapes your heart and your relationships. This isn't just another moment in time. It's a sacred call, a divine invitation to recalibrate your love life under God's eternal plan. While the world chases fleeting distractions, the Creator is quietly preparing to turn your emotional world upside down. Make no mistake, this season of spiritual testing is not here to toy with you. It's here to transform everything you thought you knew about love, connection, and the purpose God has for your heart. If you've been wrestling with dreams of past relationships or feeling a heavy burden in your spirit, this is no accident. Keep watching, for there's a divine reason behind these signs, and I'll reveal it soon. But first, you must understand why July 19th is not just another day. It's a divine deadline that could redefine your path for the next 4 months. Picture the heavens as God's grand canvas, and on July 19th, His divine light shines upon your life with undeniable purpose. This moment marks the beginning of a sacred season, a time when the Lord calls you to examine the foundations of your relationships. Are they rooted in His truth, or are they wavering under the weight of worldly desires? This divine season, unfolding as the heavens align, carries a holy tension between the love you seek to build and the security your soul craves in God's embrace. The stakes are eternal and the hour is near. What makes this moment so urgent? God's timing is perfect, and this divine call is amplified by His orchestration of love and truth. As the heavens shift, your ability to express love, to seek godly connections, and to live out your heart's purpose is under divine scrutiny. The rules of earthly relationships are being rewritten by the hand of the Creator. The love you've known will feel unfamiliar, as if the ground beneath your faith has shifted. The connections you clung to, they're being tested. The Lord is peeling back the layers, revealing the truth of what your heart can no longer ignore. This is your moment to answer His call, or risk missing the divine purpose He has set before you. Have you felt it? That heavy burden pressing on your spirit, that restlessness in your soul, those dreams of past loves that linger like echoes of God's voice? This is no coincidence. It's the Lord's whisper, preparing you for the transformation ahead. This heaviness isn't mere emotion. It's a divine awakening, a call to align your heart with God's will. For weeks, His presence has been stirring, speaking truths your mind hasn't fully grasped. Conversations with loved ones carry a new weight, don't they? Words that once flowed easily now feel like prayers requiring courage. Decisions about love, once simple, now feel like they could shape your eternal path. This is no accident. It's God's prelude, a season of preparation already reshaping your heart. Your body is speaking. 2. That tightness in your chest when you face conflict, that knot in your stomach when certain names arise. These are God's signals, guiding you toward His truth. The Lord formed you, body and soul, and in this sacred season, your body becomes a vessel for His wisdom. Have you noticed tension in your shoulders around certain people? Exhaustion after conversations that should lift your spirit? These are not mere discomforts. They're divine messages, urging you to listen. Your heart is crying out, and on July 19th, God's voice will thunder. Will you heed His call, or will you turn away? On July 19th, the Lord draws a line in the sand. This is no ordinary day. It's a divine tribunal where every relationship, every unspoken truth, every hidden longing is called before God's throne. The heavens align to ground this moment in the physical, making His truth undeniable. You'll feel in your body, the racing of your heart, the catching your breath when certain topics arise. This is God asking, are your relationships rooted in my love? Do they honor the purpose I place within you, or are they pulling you from my path? This is your divine wake-up call. The choices you make in the hours leading to this sacred deadline could shape your heart's journey until December 1st. Will you cling to connections that stray from God's will, or will you embrace the truth He's revealing? The Lord isn't playing games. He's offering you a chance to rewrite your story in His light. Drop a comment below and share. What burden has God placed on your heart lately? How is He speaking to you? Your testimony might encourage another soul watching. The heavens are proclaiming, and on July 19th, God's divine purpose unfolds with unrelenting power. This sacred season, beginning as the Lord's hand moves, is not just a moment. It's a holy crucible, a trial that will test the very foundations of your relationships. This isn't a gentle whisper from above. It's a roaring call, burning away falsehoods and demanding unwavering truth in your heart. As God's divine order aligns your capacity to love, to seek godly connections, and live out His purposes under His holy scrutiny. The rules of earthly relationships are being rewritten by the Creator's hand. And if you fail to heed His call, you risk missing the path He has set for you. Let's dive deeper into this divine storm. What it means for your soul, why it's shaking your spirit, and how it will reshape your journey toward love rooted in God's truth. This sacred season, beginning July 19th, is no mere moment. It's a divine examination, a 3-part trial ordained by God to reveal the truth of your relationships. Many will stumble, but with faith, you can stand firm. The first test is boundaries. Can you love with the passion of Christ's love without losing yourself to worldly desires? Can you stand steadfast when the allure of another's presence feels overwhelming, tempting you to compromise your God-given worth? The Lord is watching, calling you to say no when your heart yearns to say yes to connections that dim your divine light. This isn't about shutting others out. It's about building sacred boundaries that protect your soul while opening the door to God's love. The second test is time. Relationships built on fleeting emotions, unspoken promises, or ignored truths will tremble under God's holy gaze. Time doesn't merely heal in this season. It exposes. That rushed romance you entered without prayer, those feelings you buried to avoid conflict, they're rising like echoes of God's voice, demanding to be heard. The Lord is holding a mirror to your heart's timeline. Have you built connections rooted in His eternal truth, or have you been fleeing from His plan? The third test, the most profound, is truth itself. Not the easy, comforting kind, but the raw, heart-stirring truth that makes you tremble as you speak it. God's divine pressure makes silence unbearable, forcing every hidden longing, every suppressed fear to surface. This trial isn't meant to break your relationships. It's meant to break open your heart to God's perfect will. Have you been visited in dreams by someone from your past? Felt their presence linger in your prayers, unbidden, like a whisper from the Lord? This is no accident. It's God's divine orchestration. From July 19th to December 1st, the echoes of past relationships don't just haunt your thoughts. They may walk back into your life. A former love might reach out after years of silence. A familiar face could cross your path, stirring memories you thought were buried. A chapter you believed was closed might call for one final prayer. This is not chance. It's God's sacred design. But here's the divine truth many miss. These reappearances aren't about rekindling earthly desires. They're about redemption and release. The Lord doesn't bring these souls back to repeat old mistakes. He brings them to help you surrender the past to His grace. Each person who returns carries a piece of God's wisdom for your soul. Perhaps they remind you of boundaries you'll never again forsake. Maybe they reveal what your heart truly seeks in His plan. Or perhaps they offer a chance to speak words left unsaid, closing a chapter with peace in His presence. Pay attention to who returns, but more importantly, notice how your spirit responds. Does your heart lift in hope or tighten in unease? Does your soul feel peace or turmoil? Your body is God's vessel, revealing what these encounters mean for your journey. These moments aren't random. They're divine revelations, each one a step toward the love God intends for you. In this holy season, your body is more than flesh. It's God's sacred vessel, speaking truths your mind may struggle to hear. That tightness in your throat when you try to voice your needs, that's the Holy Spirit urging you to speak with courage. The heaviness in your chest after a draining conversation, that's God's call to acknowledge unhealed wounds. The weariness that lingers after time with certain people, that's your spirit signaling a connection that pulls you from His path. The Lord created you body and soul, and during this season, your body becomes a holy map, guiding you toward His truth. Notice where your body holds God's messages. That knot in your stomach when a name is mentioned, the tension in your shoulders after a strained exchange. These are divine signals, not mere discomforts. Chronic tension often marks where you're resisting God's call to change, clinging to relationships that stray from His will. Headaches, clenched jaws, restless nights. These aren't random ailments. They're your body proclaiming what your soul needs to face. But when you're with someone aligned with God's purpose, your body knows. Your breath steadies, your heart rests, your spirit soars. This season is teaching you to trust God's voice within you, to let your body guide you toward His truth. Have you felt God's presence in your body lately? Share your experience in the comments. How is He speaking to you through these signs? Your testimony could light the way for another believer. As this divine season intensifies, one peril looms above all. Not betrayal by others, but the betrayal of your own heart. The greatest danger isn't who you love or who loves you. It's denying the truth God is revealing. Convincing yourself a relationship aligns with His will when your spirit cries out otherwise. Ignoring the warnings in your heart because you fear solitude. Making excuses for connections that dim your God-given light. The Lord's refining fire makes falsehoods unbearable, forcing you to face the truth you've been avoiding. The most perilous deception? Believing you can change someone's path through your love alone, apart from God's will. The Lord, who sets boundaries and ordains purpose, reminds you that you cannot control another's heart. If you find yourself thinking, this time will be different, or they'll change if I pray harder, pause. God isn't calling you to strive harder. He's calling you to see clearer. The true battle is within, between the soul yearning for His truth and the fear clinging to earthly comforts. This season tests your courage to walk in faith, even when the truth is painful. Will you trust God's plan, or let fear keep you bound? The heavens are sounding a trumpet, and on July 19th, God's divine plan unfolds with unshakable authority. This sacred season, stretching from July 19th to December 1st, is not just a moment. It's a holy crucible, a divine call to strip away falsehoods and forge a heart anchored in God's eternal truth. As the Lord's hand moves, your relationships are placed in His refining fire, where only what is pure and true will endure. The heavens align to make His will undeniable, grounding every emotion in the reality of His purpose. This is your final hour to align your heart with God's calling before His lessons take root. Let's uncover how to walk through this divine storm, the ultimate love lesson the Lord is imparting, and the transformation awaiting you when His plan comes to fruition on December 1st. That heavy burden pressing on your spirit? It's not random. It's God's holy whisper, a divine weight shaping your soul for His glory. As the Lord prepares to move on July 19th, His presence has been stirring your heart for weeks, speaking truths you've yet to fully embrace. This isn't a burden to bear alone. It's clarity from the Creator, burning away the illusions of earthly desires. The relationships that feel heavy, the conversations that falter, the sudden urge to question your path. These are God's invitations to see your love life through His eyes, not the world's fleeting hopes. This holy whisper is calling you to examine the foundations of your heart. Are your boundaries rooted in God's strength, protecting your soul while opening to His love? Are your expectations aligned with His will? Or are you chasing dreams that belong to the world? Are your relationships built on clear promises? Or are you stumbling over unspoken assumptions? The weight you feel is God's hand grounding you in His truth, preparing you for the sacred work ahead. His whisper isn't here to overwhelm you. It's here to carve a space for a love that reflects His eternal purpose. From July 19th to December 1st, as God's divine plan unfolds, your relationships are governed by His holy principles. To walk this path without straying, you must embrace 3 sacred truths. First, trust God's timing. This isn't the season for impulsive choices or reckless leaps in love. The Lord calls for prayerful reflection, not haste. Use this time to seek His wisdom, to discern what aligns with His purpose and what pulls you away. Every step you take now builds a foundation for His blessings to come. Second, embrace the patience of faith. The world demands instant answers, but God's refining fire requires stillness. Let conversations unfold in His time. Sit with discomfort long enough to hear His voice. The truths you seek will emerge through prayer and surrender, not through striving. Third, wield the power of godly refusal, saying no to relationships or patterns that dim your light. Whether a draining connection, a tempting distraction, or a habit that dishonors God, create space for His perfect will. For those in relationships, this is a season to take inventory. Which promises need renewing in prayer? Which truths have you avoided? For singles, it's a call to deepen your relationship with God, to build a heart ready for the love He intends. What's one step you're ready to take in faith this season? Share it in the comments. Your testimony could inspire another to trust God's plan. At the heart of this sacred season lies a transformative lesson, one the Lord has written for your soul. Love is not earned through sacrifice of self. Let this truth sink deep. True, godly love doesn't demand you silence your needs, dim your spirit, or conform to the world's expectations. The Lord, who sets boundaries and ordains purpose, is revealing where you've tried to earn love by forsaking the worth He gave you. Those relationships where you walk on eggshells, where your needs are overlooked, where you carry the burden of another's heart. These are the patterns God is breaking in His mercy. This season unveils a divine truth. Your worth is not something you prove. It's a gift from your Creator. You don't become worthy of love by being perfect or invisible. You are already worthy, created in His image. God is dismantling the lie that love is conditional, earned through striving or suffering. He's teaching you to be a vessel of His love first, to set boundaries that honor His design, to make choices that reflect His truth. This lesson is raw, challenging, but it's also redemptive. It's the key to a love that lifts your soul to Him, not pulls you from His path. When God's divine work reaches its culmination on December 1st, 2025, you'll stand in a new spiritual landscape, not because the world has changed, but because your heart has been refined by His hand. The burdens weighing on you now will transform into strength, the confusion into clarity, the pain into wisdom. This season doesn't remove trials. It equips you to walk through them with unshakable faith. Relationships that endure this refining fire will emerge stronger, their foundations anchored in God's truth. Those that fall away weren't failures. They were part of His plan, clearing space for connections that honor Him. By December, your heart will bear new strength, the courage to stand in your God-given worth, to voice your needs in His name, to discern godly compromise from self-betrayal. You'll be drawn to relationships that reflect His light, and your bond with Him will deepen, rooted in trust and truth. This season isn't punishment. It's preparation, readying your heart for the love God has always intended for you. When His plan unfolds, you'll move forward, not on the same path, but toward a future aligned with His eternal purpose. This is your moment of divine appointment. God's refining fire is a call to align your heart with His truth. Don't wait for permission. Act in faith now. Pray over your relationships. Set boundaries rooted in His love. Speak the truths He's placed in your heart. The steps you take in this season will ripple into eternity, shaping the love you receive when God's plan unfolds on December 1st. If this message stirs your soul, subscribe to stay connected with more godly insights. Share your prayer or testimony in the comments. What truth is God revealing to you in this season? Your words could be a beacon for another believer. Until next time, walk boldly in His light and let your heart follow His call.